Hi friends, happy to see you all through another video. So in this video, we are going to discuss about fire extinguishers, what is fire, and what are the types of fires. And by the end of this video, you will be able to understand what are the types of risks involved by fire in different sectors and what kind of fire extinguisher should be placed on such risk areas. So let's begin with what is fire. So fire is a rapid oxidation of a material in the exothermic chemical process of combustion, releasing heat and light. So we'll discuss this in a triangle, what is this fire and how this fire is littered. So fire is either man-made or natural, and fire can cause a very serious accident or minor accidents, and it depends upon certain things. So here we'll see those certain things what it is. So for a fire to be littered and to progress, it requires fuel, heat, and oxygen. So this is a fire triangle. So you need oxygen, heat, as well as fuel for the fire to progress. If you cut off any of these from the fire triangle, automatically the fire extinguishes. So either oxygen or the heat or the fuel. So any one of this is cut down, then automatically the fire extinguishes. So now let's discuss what is fire extinguisher. So fire extinguisher is an active fire protection device used to extinguish or control small fire, often in emergency situations. So fire extinguisher is not the only type of equipment used to extinguish the fire. We have different varieties of suppression devices available, like automatic sprinklers, fire hydrants, hose rails, and so we are not going to discuss in this video about all those equipments. So here we are going to discuss only about fire extinguishers. So specifically fire extinguishers is used in small areas where you can control the accidents. In case if the fire accident is very huge or if a very large space is ablaze, then you could not control this by using this fire extinguisher. So please keep in mind that fire extinguisher, what we are going to discuss here, is used to control or extinguish only small portion of the fire. So to prevent fire extinguisher from being moved or damaged, it can be placed in 3.5 to 5 feet from the ground level. So this is a global recommendation, and again it depends. So the recommendation may differ from region to region. And the fire extinguishers are measured in kilogram, varying from 1 kg to 100 kg. And again, this is another requirement. So the next question would arise: what type of fire extinguisher or what kilogram measuring extinguisher should be placed in a specific area? So that can be determined only by knowing the risk of the fire risk of that particular area. Suppose if the particular area is exposed to a huge fire risk, then there you need more number of fire extinguishers with more kilogram. And if it is exposed to a very less fire risk, in that cases you require minimum kilogram fire extinguisher. Here we are going to discuss about the types of fires. So what is this type of fire? So we all know that fire is only one type. How can it be categorized? Well, it can be categorized depending upon in which material the fire is captured. Like say for example, if it is in a solid material, then we are categorizing it into a type. If it is in liquid or if it is in gas, depending upon the material which ablazes, based on that, we are categorizing the fire. Let's begin with class A. What is this class A? It is an ordinary combustible such as paper, wood, a cloth, rubber, and any such kind of plastics. So if fire is get caught on any of these kind of material, those type of fire are considered as class A fire. So those are liquid. I'm sorry, those are solid. Second, class B is flammable liquids. So if the fire gets caught on any of the flammable liquid materials like gasoline petroleum grease, tars, oil, paint, solvent, alcohol, propane, butane type of flammable gases. So these are considered to be class B. So to just understand this, we can have a liquid in our mind. So class A is for solid materials and class B is for liquid. And class C fires are caused by combustion of gases such as methane, propane, hydrogen, acetylene, and some kind of natural gases. So this is gas. So class A is for solid, class B is for liquid, and class C is for gas. And then in addition, we also have class D. So these are fires in combustible materials such as magnesium, titanium, sodium, lithium, and potassium. So these are all combustible metals. So first we discussed about solid, then liquid, then gas, and class D is combustible metals. Then we have electrical fires. As the name suggests, we could easily understand that any kind of electrical equipment, if it gets caught, that type of fire is categorized as electrical fire, such as computers, televisions, then heaters, fuse boxes, etc. And then we also have a new category that is class K, which in few places is also defined as class F. Either class F or class K, both are same. So these are fires that are caught in cooking oil and greases that is made up of animal and vegetable fats. If the fire is get caught on this kind of material, then that fire is treated as class K or class F. So these are the categories of fire: A, B, C, D, electrical fire, and K. Now let's discuss about the types of fire extinguishers. A single type of fire extinguisher cannot extinguishes all type of fires. As we already discussed, we have different types of fire and we don't have a single extinguisher to extinguish all kind of fires. So depending upon the type of fire, the fire extinguisher also should be varied and we'll discuss in detail about that in this slide. So we have water and foam type extinguisher. To discuss further in detail about this, just keep in mind about the fire triangle which we discussed on the earlier slide. That is, we need oxygen, heat energy, as well as fuel for the fire to prolong. So, if any one of this is cut down from the triangle, automatically the fire extinguishes. So here, the water and foam extinguishers cut off the heat element of the fire triangle. So as also the foam agent, it separates the oxygen element from the material triangle. So if either heat or oxygen or fuel, if it is cut down, the triangle gets broken and the fire extinguishes. So, where can this be used? This was a water extinguisher for class A fire only. So, this water type extinguisher can be used only in class A fire. As we already discussed, what is class A? Class A is nothing but if the fire get caught in materials like wood, paper, or some kind of solid materials, those are considered as class A. So, water type extinguisher is fair enough to extinguish such kind of fire. Then carbon dioxide fire extinguisher. This extinguishes by taking away the oxygen element of the fire triangle and also be removing the heat with the very cold discharge. So here again it cut down the two elements, that is oxygen and the heat produced. So what happens? Again the fire extinguishes. So this carbon dioxide can be used on class B and class C fire. I hope you remember what is class B and class C. So class B is a flammable liquid and class A is gas, and they are usually ineffective on class A fire. So like if a solid material is get caught by fire, so they're using carbon dioxide fire extinguisher is ineffective. So carbon dioxide fire extinguisher used for only B and C. Water and foam is used for class A type. And we have another type, that is dry chemical. This type of fire extinguisher extinguishes the fire primarily by interrupting the chemical reaction of the fire triangle. So as we discussed, there is a chemical reaction. That is, fire is nothing but a chemical reaction. So by using this dry chemical, so it disturbs the chemical reaction of the fire, and so the fire extinguishes. So this dry chemical is used for class B and class C fire. And we also have wet chemical. This is a new type agent that extinguishes the fire by removing the heat of the fire triangle and prevents reigniting by creating a barrier between the oxygen and the fuel element. So as like this wet element is a new category. So this is used in class K and class, that is class A is nothing but class K and class F are both the same, used in two different name in some countries. So this wet chemical is used in such class K extinguishers. So this class K extinguisher is placed in areas like canteens, cooking area, then restaurants. So as we discussed, this extinguishes the fire in the cooking oil that have the animal fat or vegetable oil fat and so. Then we have dry powder extinguisher, similar to dry chemical, except that it extinguishes the fire by separating the fuel from the oxygen element or by removing the heat element of the fire triangle. So again, it disturbs the chemical reaction, like it cuts off fuel and oxygen from the triangle. So again, the fire extinguishes. Now let's see some images of these fire extinguishers and the type of fire extinguishers, how it looks like. So first, this is ABC of a fire extinguisher. That if you notice on the fire extinguisher, you could see symbols like A, B, C, and the electrical shock symbol. So this represents that this extinguisher can extinguish A class, that is type A, class A fire, class B fire, class C fire, and electrical fire. So this is a very important thing that we have to keep in mind before placing any cylinder in a particular area. So first you should determine and understand what type of risk is involved in that particular area, and you should also see what are all the materials stored in that area. If you have some solid material, then a type A is enough. If you have liquid material, then I mean sorry, that flammable liquid type, then B is enough. If you have some gaseous, that is flammable gas material, then type C is required. Likewise electrical. So depending upon the elements available in that particular area or the materials available in that particular area, the extinguisher also varies. So this A, B, C and electrical shock image what you're seeing right now, this can extinguish all these four category fire. Next is carbon dioxide fire extinguisher. This is how it looks like. As we discussed, carbon dioxide uh, fire extinguisher can used in what type of fire, like for example, if there is any electrical equipments available, then this carbon dioxide extinguisher can be used. Then this is type K extinguisher, type K or type F, which is used in kitchens, restaurants, and cooking areas. And then this is foam type extinguisher. As we discussed, foam type is used in only in type A, that is class A. So these are some kind of fire extinguisher images. So the kilogram of the fire extinguisher also differs. As we discussed, there's 1 kg available, 2 kg, 3 kg, up to 100 kg extinguishers are available in the market. So you have to determine the space, that is the area of that particular risk, and then depending upon the area risk, you have to place the cylinders. Fire types and extinguishers. So this is a simple chart that defines or that explains what kind of extinguisher should be placed in what type of fire. So here row wise you can see water, foam, dry powder, CO2 and wet chemicals, and then the top layer you can see class A, B, C, D electrical and class F. So first, if a water type extinguisher is there, it can be used only for class A type fire extinguisher, and home type can be used in class A and class B, not for any other classes. And dry powder can be used for class A, B, C, D and electrical and not for class F. CO2 can be used for class B and electrical and not for any other classes. And the last, wet chemical can be used for class E and class F. Here the class F is nothing but class K. So this wet chemical can be used only for these classes and not for any other classes. So this is how this chart will be very useful for you to understand what type of cylinders you have to place in your particular area. So this chart just simply gives you an overview about what are the types of fires available, that is the classes of fires available, and what type of extinguisher should be placed on that particular area where what class fire are exposed. So here we have a small video presentation on how to handle the fire extinguisher. So let's just quickly jump into that video.
Use the pass method to put out the fire. P. Pull the pin so that you're able to discharge the extinguisher. A. Aim the extinguisher nozzle at the base of the fire. S. Squeeze the lever to discharge the extinguishing agent. Releasing the lever will stop the discharge. S. Sweep. Pointing the extinguisher at the base of the fire, move the extinguisher from left to right or back and forth in a sweeping motion until the fire is out. When the fire is out, continue to watch the fire to ensure the fire does not ignite once again. If the fire comes back, repeat the pass method. Recap: P. Pull the pin. A. Aim. S. Squeeze. And S. Sweep.
Okay, friends, I hope you might have enjoyed this video and you could have got some detailing about what are the types of fire extinguishers and what kind of extinguisher should be placed in your work area. So this video can be a guide for you to understand more about the fire and fire extinguishers. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you.